Welcome, folks, to another night of wisdom and wit. We've got a great show lined up for you tonight. Now, before we get started, I gotta warn ya, if you're easily offended, you might want to cover your ears or head on out to the nearest safe space. But if you're ready for some good old-fashioned comedy that'll make you laugh, cry, and maybe question your life choices, stick around. All right, let's dive right in. You know, I've been hearing a lot about this BRICS thing lately. No, not the things you use to build houses, although with the way the economy's going, we might all need to learn how to do that soon. I'm talking about Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Apparently, they're thinking about making their own currency. Can you believe that? I mean, what's next? Are they going to start their own boy band too? But here's the kicker, our man Trump, he's not having any of it. He's threatening to slap a 100% tariff on these countries if they try to replace the dollar. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear a 100% tariff, I think it's like when my wife says she's 100% done with my shenanigans. It sounds serious, but we all know I'll be back to my old tricks by dinner time. Trump's like that guy at the bar who's had one too many and starts challenging everyone to arm wrestling matches. You want to replace the dollar? Come at me, bro. I'll tariff you so hard your grandkids will feel it. I mean, can you imagine if countries trash talked each other like that? It'd be like a WE smackdown, but with more suits and fewer steroids. But let's be real here, folks. This whole tariff thing is like trying to fix a leaky faucet with a sledgehammer. Sure, it'll stop the leak, but you might not have a sink left when you're done. And don't even get me started on how this affects us regular folks. It's like when your wife goes on a shopping spree and you're left wondering how you're going to pay for dinner. Except in this case, dinner is the entire economy. Now I know what you're thinking. Jimmy, you handsome devil, aren't you worried about offending our dear leader? Well, let me tell you something. Trump's like that uncle at Thanksgiving who says whatever's on his mind. You might not always agree with him, but damn if he doesn't make the dinner interesting. And let's face it, without him, what would we talk about? The weather? But here's the thing about Trump's negotiation tactics. It's like when you're trying to get your kid to eat their vegetables. You start by threatening to take away their Xbox, their phone, and their right to ever leave the house again. Then you negotiate down to just eat 3 bites of broccoli. And suddenly, you're the good guy. It's genius, I tell ya. And let's not forget about the BRICS countries themselves. They're like that group of kids in high school who decided they were too cool for the popular crowd. They're sitting at their own lunch table, planning their own prom, and probably practicing their synchronized dance moves. But you know what? At the end of the day, this is all just a big game of economic chicken. And let me tell you folks, I've played chicken before. Usually involves a couple of beers, a dirt road, and a story that ends with, and that's why I'm not allowed back in that county. But this is high-stakes chicken. It's like playing chicken with a train while you're driving a smart car filled with dynamite and your mother-in-law. Now, I don't know about you, but all this talk about tariffs and currencies is making my head spin faster than that time I tried to understand my wife's explanation of why she needed another pair of shoes. But you know who might be able to make sense of all this? Our next guest. He's a man who knows a thing or two about making deals, threatening tariffs, and tweeting at 3 a.m. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the man, the myth, the legend, Donald Trump.
Well, thank you kindly, Benji. I haven't been this excited since I found out my cousin's wedding was BYB, bring your own brother. Now y'all buckle up, cause we're about to take a wild ride through the wonderful world of Elon Musk and his government efficiency crusade. Speaking of Elon Musk, that man's cost-cutting skills are sharper than a rattlesnake's tooth in a beauty pageant. Did y'all hear about his latest trick at SpaceX? He replaced those fancy schmancy rocket latches with good old bathroom stall locks. I tell ya, nothing says to infinity and beyond. Quite like the same technology that keeps Cletus from barging in on you at the Piggly Wiggly. And don't even get me started on Tesla. Musk's idea of efficiency there is like my Uncle Jed's approach to moonshine: cut everything that ain't absolutely necessary and hope it don't blow up in your face. He's shedding workers faster than a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. But hey, who needs safety inspectors when you've got a car that can fart on command, am I right? Now our boy Elon's bringing his unique brand of cost-cutting to the government with this new Department of Government Efficiency. Dope, they're calling it. Sounds about right. It's either going to be a loyal companion or pee all over the Constitution. But let me tell you, if anyone can trim the fat off Uncle Sam, it's the man who made electric cars sexy and rockets reusable. Musk and his buddy Vivek Ramaswamy are promising to cut $2 trillion from the federal budget. That's more zeros than you'd find at a convention for participation trophy winners. They're going to trim that budget tighter than my Aunt Mabel's girdle at the all-you-can-eat crawfish buffet. And let me tell you, that is tight. But here's the kicker, folks. Musk's cost-cutting at Twitter, oh, I'm sorry, X, has been about as smooth as a cactus colonoscopy. He fired half the staff and most of the fact-checkers, and now that place is more full of baloney than a Democrat's campaign promises. Now, some folks are worried about bringing this Musk magic to the government. They say you can't run the country like a business. Well, I say why not? Our politicians have been treating it like a badly run circus for years. At least with Musk in charge, we might get some cool flamethrowers out of the deal. But seriously, y'all, applying private sector strategies to government agencies could be trickier than teaching a squirrel to do your taxes. 1 minute, you're trying to balance the budget, and the next, you've accidentally sold Wyoming to Jeff Bezos for a bag of Bitcoin and a slightly used rocket booster. And let's not forget the potential consequences. We could end up with a White House run on solar power, self-driving tanks, and a space force that communicates exclusively through memes. Although, come to think of it, that last one might actually improve international relations. In the end, folks, whether Musk's efficiency drive will make America great again or just greatly confused remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be a wilder ride than a mechanical bull at a Silicon Valley startup party. Well, that's all the time I've got, folks. Remember, if Elon Musk can send a car to space, maybe there's hope for getting my ex-husband off this planet too. Good night, everybody. May your budget cuts be deep and your government cheese be plentiful.